Okay. So, you're going to need WovenKit, WOS Launcher, and Advanced Renamer. In my case, I used Vegas Pro for recording, because I can click here to insert an audio track and just hit record. Then I can just go beep, 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 boop, beep, 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 beep. There you go. Really annoying sound, yeah. Now, you probably want to extract the lines. So you open WovenKit. It's taking a while. Very intricate program. I have many ignore this. I've tried to record this tutorial in one go. Let's name it Testeroni Pepperoni, because fucking Luigi in the background. It's loading all the archives, so that's gonna take a second. Now, when it's ready, you click on the red folder that says archive. This should open up this entire thing. Then you go to base. Well, click on the arrow left. Then localization. Assuming you want to do English, we go to ENUS, then VO. VO Helmut, Holocall, Rewinded. I don't think they have voice lines. I have not seen anything like it. Now, these are all the lines in the base game. We can go down to where it says V in the alphabet, and it's going to have these voice lines. We can even play them.
I'm not really in the mood for an interrogation, but if I was,
Yeah. Now we can use these filters. I would not recommend using these filters because it usually tends to cripple WovenKit, but maybe my system is just a bit older. What I probably did was just hit Control A. No, there we go. Now it has marked every single thing. I then probably hit right click and then add selected items to project. The thing is, it's probably gonna also get your PC to just halt entirely. So that might not be a really healthy option for your computer. You can also hold Control and then just drag down to mark lines. That's probably also how I actually did it. Eventually, while you do this, it's gonna scroll slower and slower, so you would have to probably extract in batches. How you really want to extract it is up to you though. At the end of the day, you should have somewhere around 3,500 voice line files. I think a bit more than that, but yeah. When you have whatever you want, you right click and do add selected items to project. Now they're all here. And when you hit, when you hit this thing, refresh, it shows all the files and you can tell it what to extract it as. So it would just be the tick, export selected, and then you have all these files in your folder, extracted as OGG. Now what you want to do is hit Control A and just drop them in here. If you do use Vegas Pro, because that's the only program I'm really familiar with, is you shouldn't import more than 250 files. So you're better off making 250 files per project. Past 250 files, it's gonna have issues with importing things. Some media might not load, so you have to reload the program. So that's gonna be bothersome. But yeah. Then you could just start recording the lines that are being said.
Found yourself a hole, sounds like. You need help?
My personal recommendation is to not go beyond how long the file is and try to adapt to how long it actually is in the project, because I don't know if your voice will then be cut in the game or you will talk over another NPC all the time. So that's something to keep in mind. But generally that shouldn't be an issue, because there's also often a bit of space on the left and right for you to improvise, I guess, with how you say things. There's some segments in the game where there's Johnny talking to you, or Johnny talking simultaneously to V, and these are not filters applied in the game. They're filters applied to these audio lines. What I did is I made extra filters for each line, track, I mean. So these would be just me talking normally. I applied a de-esser or a compressor, put that to max. Then this one would have been just called, I think it was this, in the head. So just for example, this is just me recording stuff now. This is what it sounds like. This is just me recording stuff now. This is just me recording stuff now. That's when V is having his thoughts or speaking to Johnny in his mind. And then there's another one, which has this weird echoing sound, which I kind of replicate, so I got my own version by just messing around in the sounds. This is just me recording stuff now. There's the slight sound in the back. Now, there's also segments where V and Johnny are talking at the same time, and these are both in one voice file, meaning you cannot talk over Johnny. You have to like imitate Johnny and talk over yourself or something, or find a solution to this. Maybe get a friend who can like talk like this, very monotone or something. Just imitate him, because I don't think there's a version of Johnny's sound files separate from V's when they're having like their minds merged in the game. So that's also something to keep in mind. Unless you don't really care too much and just want to maybe have your own version where you just talk like him without talking over yourself. You basically do all these lines, save your project under whatever, let's just call it Bibaboo. And now I have two scripts. One I just yoinked from somewhere, I don't even remember where. And another one is from a guy I copied it online from. I probably will link to the video because it's really helpful. I will probably put the scripts alongside with the voice lines and everything else you might need in the same Google Drive. Yeah. The first one is called VA Batch Render. It puts a marker on everything, and whatever is in the first track is also going to name it that way, which is important for when the game has to replace the sound files with your own files. Then you can go again to scripting, and then there's batch render. It's going to open a little program, and that program is asking you where to put it. Then there's this. Never click this, it's gonna export every single file as many times as there are different checked things. So I recommend to only hit this or whatever setting you have in the program, and then very specifically go click two regions and then hit render. It's gonna take a while and it's gonna look like this. Do not be scared, that's just what it looks like. Normally the box would be smaller and you would have to click proceed, but you can't, so you just hit enter. And then it's gonna render every single file with its specific name to it. And how's your day been going? I'm tired. Now the files are done. I just didn't even look where I put them, but I know where I put them. They're in a folder called renders. So you need to have the files in .vem. For that we use the WYS launcher. And once you have downloaded it, you have to go here and then download a version. You specifically have to get this version. You can get it from here by just hitting all, and then you can go through the versions and find it. Because this version isn't going to rename the files entirely, and that makes it very hard to know what file is what. So we get this file. Hit launch wise. Make a project. That's just here BNB, I don't know. And then we click on project settings, source settings, and then voice quality high. Double click it and hit OK. If you want, you can like double check it. What was it? There. Yeah, it's set to high. Perfect. Now, first we import audio files. So basically all this. We just drag and drop it. And you most likely won't have this set to sound voice. It's going to be set to sound SFX. We don't want that ever. It's sound voice, because apparently if you have it to SFX, it's going to be quiet in the game. Then you just hit import. This is going to put it in the entire thing. Then you go over to convert all audio files and hit convert. Now, once it's converted, it's going to take much longer on your end, because if you do 13K files, that's going to take a bit. You go to WYS projects in your documents, find your folder, cache, Windows, voices, English, and there are your .wem files. They're going to be really small, and you can unclick www.dat. You don't need that. So once you're done, you go to the advanced renamer, and then you can drag and drop them. Around 10K, it's going to tell you need to pay for it, because that's the limit. But you don't actually have to pay for it. Just render it in 10K and then do the rest afterwards. You can just do it in batches. You never have to pay for this thing. Now, it's going to have a specific thing in here, which is this ending. The underscore and everything after until the dot, you copy and put in here. And the remove type should be pattern. Once that's done, you hit start batch. It's going to replace these names with this. Now, we have the perfect thing we need. Then you go back to your woven kit, and you cannot put it into the import tool. Even though some people say you can and should, you can't. w.wem files cannot be put in here. You specifically just open the archive, and now make a base folder, then localization, ENUS, and VO. If you don't do it like this, the game doesn't know what you wanted to do, and it's just going to be a big archive folder with no purpose. You copy it over, and now it's in here. At last, you just hit install, which should install it into the game itself. But I'm paranoid, so I like to also hit pack object. And then you can copy whatever it is down here to find it. Right here. Oh. And that's your mod. It's done. At last, you can just test it out by going to the game, by putting it archive, PC, content, mod. If you don't have a mod folder, just make one. Call it mod. But specifically, it has to be called mod. Not mods, not modding, mod. Or the game is, again, not going to know what you want from it. It's already in here, but like, you can just drag and drop it, and then start the game and test it. Usually, you can just call up someone or talk to someone and see if it works. Now, if you want to do the DLC, it's pretty much the same thing, except it's under EP1, localization, ENUS, and VO. It has to be the same folder structure, and you have to extract the files the same way. But that's pretty much it, yeah. So, to make the grunts for V, it's a little bit different. Now, first, you need to use sfx_container.opus.info. It's gonna find this for you. You right-click and add selected items to project. And then you click on this file, click refresh, and now you can go over here and click on these three dots next to hashes2. Now, you cannot know what any of this does, neither do I, but there's a handy website for that. It should be this one. Yes. Here, you can go to language, USEN, and then you type in ono_v. Those are all V sounds. Now, they are not sorted by gender. So every time you find the V you want, let's say you want female V, you press this hash. It's just click it and it's gonna copy it to your clipboard. You go back here, then you can go here, press enter, and now you have this. Now you click on this arrow, now it's here, finish, and now you can hit export. Once you have the WAV files, you have to once again go over here and get all your files, make the sounds. Yeah, that's minor. Then you would have to do Scripting again, VA batch render, scripting, and here batch. And the same old thing. Go to scripting again, batch render to render each single file that is now marked. Now let's say you have done that too. You don't need to convert it to a Vim file. You just have to put your files then by holding Control and dragging it over to raw this time. It has to be raw. I might as well actually just open the folder and copy it over like this. There it is. Yes, there they are. Now it's important that when you have the project open, you also have the SFX container opus info also added to the project. Otherwise, you will get an error message. So once you have your files here, they should be in .wav, not .wem or anything else. You can hit this and then click import all, because then it's gonna stuff all these files back into here. Once it's done, you're gonna have many new files for the Opus packs. And now you only click install and it should be done. But if you're paranoid like me, you also hit pack object to make it a zip file. Then we can go over here to the name of the project. Get us this. Okay, and now to Cyberpunk, archive, PC, mod. We don't need those. And this should be all the sound effects. You can probably pack them together, but personally I just like to have the option to take them out individually. We can now do a test run. I hope Cyberpunk doesn't crash. It's very unstable for me in the past time. But this should work. Usually you can test this by just vaulting. Yeah. And it works. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I hope I was able to help. If there's any more questions, just contact me and maybe we can sit down together somehow. Usually you can get me through Twitter or I guess Nexus Mods. I'm not really active there. I check in there like once or twice a day now because of the mod. But otherwise, I'm never there, I think. So yeah, I wish you good luck modding.